Apple announces first computers with M1 processors. MacBook Air, 13-inch MacBook Pro, and Mac Mini get those ARM-based processors. So are these the ones, Don, that we've talked about that they're building in-house, the Apple Silicon, basically?
Yes, yeah. So we've talked about this a few times, that Apple has developed their own processor. It is completely in-house built, but it is using the licensed instruction set from ARM. So it's considered an ARM processor, even though it's not technically ARM hardware behind the scenes. macOS has been ported over to it. macOS Big Sur has rolled out as well. So that one is macOS 11 is live and out there. And if you ordered a MacBook or a Mac Mini with the new M1 processor, by the time you hear this podcast, you might actually be receiving it. Many people have gotten their hands on the units. And one thing I talked about the other week, and the reason I wanted to talk about it again, is everyone was debating over whether or not these processors would actually be faster. ARM processors are traditionally more energy efficient, but slower than like our Intel i5s, i7s, things like that. Well, the initial benchmarks are out, and it looks like the M1s are killing it, that their single core performance is beyond anything else that's on the market right now. So it looks like Apple pulled it off. If you had doubts on them having that performance, it's there. These new processors are really kicking some butt. There are some growing pains going on right now that people are finding out really quick. Anything dealing with virtualization likely will not work right on the new M1 processors. So if you rely on Docker as part of your workflow, or if you use VMware Fusion, even Parallels, those don't work right now. They're having to be converted and ported over. They can run in an emulated mode, but they don't work so well, especially Docker, because technically you're doing nested virtualization at that point, and performance is garbage in those scenarios. But everything else, even running like the x86 version of Office, it takes an extra long time to boot the first time. But after that, it launches and runs, and you wouldn't even know you were running on a different processor. It's really amazing. Huge amount of potential in these processors. It's pretty exciting.
And 20 hours battery life is what they're saying.
That's what they say.
Up to 20 hours. Probably not when you're running things that fast. Maybe if you just have the screensaver going or something, I would think.
So, Don, with this, what about the compatibility, like with different applications? Are we starting to see where there's going to be more, or have you heard if there's going to be more applications that can be ported over so that they can be compatible?
So it's funny, Apple did two things. So one good, one bad. On the good side, they built an emulation layer in. So when you run x86 and other type of applications, they are actually able to be executed on top of this. So we're seeing great compatibility.
Great.
Some applications, like Adobe Creative Suite, there's not a native version for ARM yet, so that doesn't work. But if you run it, it will actually optimize it and prepare it to run in the emulation layer, and it seems to run pretty well. People are giving good reports on it. Now, on the negative side, they did change some of the security interfaces to macOS, and it is breaking a lot of applications. So especially if you use third-party antivirus or firewalling type software, Little Snitch is a popular software package people use to monitor traffic going out of your Mac. A lot of those applications are broken under macOS Big Sur because of some changes under the hood. That's not due to the M1 processor. That's due to changes they actually made to macOS. So even if you're running Big Sur on an Intel processor, you're still going to have some of those problems. So definitely be aware, it's not a pain-free upgrade.
So you heard it here first. Turn off your antivirus.
Definitely get rid of that.
Running this new computer. So does this only run on Big Sur? Is that why that release was kind of around the same time?
Yeah. If you have a Mac with an M1 processor, it has to run Big Sur. It can't run any previous version of macOS.
All right. So I know Ronnie's always been on a Mac as long as I've known him. And Don, but Chris, what are you running over there? I'm assuming, based on the fact that you enjoy ITIL, that it's Windows.
Yeah, that would be a wrong assumption. I'm both. I like to play both sides. So, but yeah, the Mac that I currently have was the previous model year, and one of the things that they were talking about was do you want to wait for that? And in fact, I had a company that was just about ready to get ready to put a whole bunch of money into their creative department. And they were like, hey, we hear about this, single system on a chip, and oh my gosh, it's going to be the greatest thing ever. And I said, I think you might want to hold off on, putting all your eggs in one basket on something like that. But it sounds like they're doing, the typical thing anytime we roll out new technology, right? It's just always those first hurdles that we have to get over. But it looks like it has a good head start, though.
If you enjoyed that segment, be sure to check out our entire podcast available in the playlist right here. And you can always subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech news and other happenings in the IT world. Be sure to tune in every Thursday for new episodes. I hope to see you there.